Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at Street Fighter V and how to do the blocking Raging Demon. Without further ado, let's get into this. Starting with, of course, the first things first is what controller I'm actually using. I'm using a PS5 controller, just the black one, because that's what I got for Christmas, and it's a fantastic controller. So when it comes to actually practicing the block Raging Demon, the first thing is knowing how to actually perform it. You have to obviously activate it into V-Trigger, and then once you activate it into V-Trigger, you're gonna press double tap light punch, press forward, and then light kick heavy punch, and that is actually going to trigger into the demon. So if you just do it kind of regularly, it'll trigger and stuff. But one of the biggest things that you have to notice is actually applying it on block. If you're blocking and try to do a normal Raging Demon input, it might not actually work consistently. I haven't tried this with an arcade stick, but actually being fast enough to activate the Raging Demon from block by just pressing double tap, light punch, forward, light kick, heavy punch. The timing sequence that you have to actually orient that move is insanely tight, and if you screw up once, you're done. So it's not exactly a viable option, especially if you're playing an online ranked match or a tournament match. You really don't want to be applying this because it can just completely cost you the game. And yeah, so as you can see, I'm trying to input the demon, and it's kind of the fastest that I could really get on a PS5 controller. I could do it really fast on a stick, but yeah. So in terms of actually getting this input correctly done, I actually use triple kick instead. So you're gonna see right there that I actually land the demon with triple kick. So it's essentially double tap line punch forward, triple kick heavy punch. This makes it a viable option on the controller, and it's very practical. So here you can see kind of the slow motion. This is 75%, and then with it getting slower, there you go, 50%. You can see that the frame data as well, he basically has a slight, quote-unquote slight frame advantage, but he honestly doesn't. I was able to successfully pull this off in a real match, so that's why I actually made a video on it. So the second he lands, you instantly are able to do the demon, and he has all those recovery frames. He can't do anything about that at all. However, if you guys know, most Ken players, when they perform this move on block, they have a tendency to just immediately spam grab, light DP, Tatsu, or EXDP, which I find that grab and EXDP are the most common things that Ken players will do online, and just spam the ever-living crap out of it because they think that it's actually a viable option when in all reality it's not. So there you go. I mean, you literally can't do anything against that. Normally, like, you can grab, but since this is a grab, he can't block it at all. Here's another demon sequence where I'm doing V-skill. I'm trying to link V-skill parry into demon. I'm not exactly good at doing it, so therefore it doesn't matter, but you know, you get the legit gist of it. You're supposed to block and then do the Raging Demon, so you're holding back, and this is a standing block, not a crouch block. So if you're standing block, this works just fine. I did try this out with crouch block. It does work with crouch block, though actually inputting the demon is a little bit more difficult, and you got to be careful not to quarter circle or anything like that, otherwise you could be looking at severe problems later on in terms of whiffing an EX move or something like that, and then you're looking at way more damage being dealt to you, so you got to be careful with that. So another one that I programmed the AI to do is light DP after the Shoryuken. This actually light Shoryuken after the heavy Tatsu. This basically creates the perfect like equation for most online Ken players who want to try to use a move afterwards. I have not actually programmed it to grab yet, so I'm not sure if this does actually matter too much in terms of grabs and having to tech, but if they're not going to tech and you know that they're going to press a button or EXDP, this is an absolutely viable option. Make sure that if you are practicing this, that you practice both left side and right side. I'm not exactly that great at inputting left side demons. I'm a lot better at inputting right side demons just because of, you know, where the match actually puts me. But if you can practice them pretty evenly, then I think you have a good chance. So as you can see, I have a bunch of failed attempts before finally landing it. So there's an actual grab right there, but it's pretty difficult in terms of the timing. But once you get the timing down, the Ken player can't do anything. Like, he's going to get hit by the demon unless he's just straight up a robot and knows how to jump immediately after the animation, which I don't even think you can do that. So next I programmed the training dummy to actually EXDP, which is, I've gotten hit by this constantly off block where I block the light Tatsu. Yeah, where I actually block the Tatsu and then EXDP. This isn't an EXDP, this is just a light DP, but as you can tell, this does actually work. I've gotten hit by this a couple times in a match, and it's a pretty viable option for newer, lower levels like bronze, silvers, maybe even gold. But any other time, it's not exactly too viable. So you got to pay attention to that, and that's just kind of the overall gist of it, is paying attention to what the Ken player is going to do. No one can say, oh, why don't you just use your CA on him and you save your V meter. You can use your CA against a spam Tatsu, but the timing in that is a lot more difficult and you have a greater chance of actually being hit. As opposed to just doing a demon, you basically are guaranteed going to hit him. So right there, like guaranteed, he tries to go into the light DP and the animation, still he can't do anything. He's starting the animation of his light DP, but he's at technically a frame disadvantage, so he just instantly gets hit by it and there's nothing that he can do. It's a very practical option, so try it out if you can. So with that being said, later on I actually show EXDP after just getting a few more practices in with this. I've done this against with TPs as well, like basically any Dragon Punch with maybe the exception of Luke's. You could just straight up demon off block or just demon through. I say Luke's iffy because I don't know if he does get full invincibility frames over it. I kind of feel like he does, but yeah. So here you go, I'm just programming the AI to do this. I always do a medium kick, so it's 2 medium kicks at start, 1 medium kick on the next one, and then no medium kick into EX Tatsu. I just do this because it's repetitive and it builds up that training. It trains your mindset to be ready on what to do. So here, as you can see, I was too late on the button and I just ate that entire EXDP. And if I'm at a, you know, low health situation, I'm just gonna get demolished by that EXDP. But here, as you can see, I land it, and no matter what he does not have enough time to activate the EXDP, so no invincibility frames for him, nothing that he can do about it, just guaranteed Raging Demon through it, and it's quite practical, to be honest. And yeah, not only is it quite practical, but it's hella enjoyable to actually pull this off in a match. I've done this a couple times now, and I love doing it every single time because it's so satisfying enough to land a Raging Demon, but when you're able to do it on block, it's like a whole new world per se. So I think I land it one more time here. Yeah, I do. And that pretty much closes off this video in terms of practically doing it. All you gotta do is get the timing done right with the Raging Demon input, and once you do that, that's basically how you do it. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later.